When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade.
We've braved the belly of a beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. And the norms and notions of what just
isn't always just ice. And yet, the dawn is ours before we knew it. Somehow, we do it.
When days come, we ask ourselves, when can we find light in the never-ending shade 7, the loss we carry?
We, the successors of a country and a time, were a skinny black girl descended from slaves and raised by a single mother.
Can dream of becoming president, only to find herself resenting for one. And yes, we are far from polished, far from pristine.
But that doesn't mean we are striving to form a union that is perfect. We are striving to forge a union with purpose, to compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and
conditions of men. And so we lift our gazes, not to what stands between us, but what stands before us.
We close the divide because we know to put our future first. We must first put our difference aside. We lay down our arms.
So we can reach our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all.
Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieve, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped.
That even as we tired, we tried, that we'll ever be tied together. Victorious, not because we will never again know defeat,
but because we will never again show division. Scripture tells us to envision everyone shall sit under their own vine and fig tree.
And no one shall make them afraid. If we're to live up to our own time, the victory won't lie in the blade.
But in all the bridges we've made, that is the promise to glide the hill we climbed, if only we dared.
It's being an American is more than the pride we inherit. It's the past we step into, and it's how we repair it.
We've seen a force that would shatter our nation rather than share it.
Would destroy our country if it meant delaying democracy, and this effort very nearly succeeded.
But while our democracy can be periodically delayed, it can never be permanently defeated.
In this truth, in this faith, we trust.
For while we have our eyes on the future, history has its eyes on us.
This is the era of just redemption. We feared at its inception.
We did not feel prepared to be the heirs of such a terrifying hour, but within it we found the power to author a new chapter.
To offer hope and laughter to ourselves, so while once we asked, how could we possibly prevail over catastrophe?
Now we assert, how could catastrophe possibly prevail over us? We will not march back to what was, but move to what shall be.
A country that is bruised but whole, benevolent but bold, fierce and free.
We will not be turned around or interrupted by intimidation, because we know our inaction and our inertia. We will be inherents of the next generation.
Our blunders become our burdens, but one thing is certain: if we merge mercy with might and might with right, then love becomes our legacy, and change our children's birthright.
So let us leave behind a country better than the one we were left with.
Every breath from my bronze-pounded chest, we will raise this wounded world into a wondrous light. We will rise from the gold-limbed hills of the west.
We will rise from the wind-swept northeast, where our forefathers first realized revolution. We will rise from the lantern cities of the Midwestern states. We will rise from the sun-baked south. We will rebuild, reconcile, and recover.
And every knowness of our nations and every corner of our country are people diverse and beautifully merged, battered, and
when day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and afraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it.
For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to
only where enough to be